Yeah, so you just saw me standing next to my physical TBR, and I'm sorry that the shot didn't get my head or the top of the stack in it, but I was about like maybe 6 inches taller than it, and I was actually shocked that I was taller. Um, yeah, this stack consists of probably at least 50 books, and I'm gonna go through them real fast. So yeah, this is Hush Hush, a collection of short stories by Stephen Bartholomew. I read one of the stories and wrote 2 papers over it in college, and so I bought the book and I still have never read it. This is How to Train Your Dragon, Book 11, How to Betray a Dragon's Hero. Bought it a long time ago, never read it. This is Artemis Fowl 3 and 4, bought it a long time ago. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'm pretty sure I got it for Christmas. And I've read the first 2, but I have not read these. This is The Warrior Heir. I got it for my birthday in 2016, I think, from a friend, and I never read it. This is The Revised Fundamentals of Caregiving. The Fundamentals of Caring, the movie with Paul Rudd, is based on this book. I bought it because of that book and never read it. This is Mindset. I've seen this book in a lot of places. I got it from a friend's mom at the end of high school and never read it. This is Intelligent Music Teaching. It's a book we have because my husband's music band director person, and I feel like I should read it because I'm also a music educator. This is The Sound of Stars by Alicia, probably Alicia Dow, and I bought it during the pandemic and I haven't read it. This is Inkheart. I think I got it at a garage sale when I was in elementary school, maybe middle school, and I still have never read it, even though I did start it last year. This is The Boy on the Bridge. I bought it at a used bookstore and have never read it. This is Pathfinder by Orson Scott Card. It's not inside the Ender universe, and my husband had it on his bookshelf and read it and said it was good, but I still have not read it. Peter Pan. I've tried to read it twice, maybe 3 times, still haven't gotten through it. This is You Don't Have to Say You Love Me by Sherman Alexie. I purchased it before I knew how horrible of a person he was, but I think I'm still going to read it, and yeah. This is The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was one of my brother's favorite books, and I still haven't read it. This is The Dumbest Kid in Gifted Class. I bought it, I think, in college from Amazon. Still have never read it. This is Child Prodigies and Exceptional Early Achievers. I bought it around the same time I bought that last book. I don't really know why, but haven't read it. This is Inheritance, the last book in the Aragon series. I read the first 3 books and still have never read the last one. This is Skyscraper Lullaby by Howard Pollock. It's about a little-known composer named John Alden Carpenter. I played some of his music in my rookie year drum corps show, and I wrote an essay over him, largely using this book as a resource, and I still haven't actually read the entire book. Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. I have only read the first 2 Game of Thrones books, and so I definitely haven't read the prequel. This is A Concise History of American Music Education. Again, a book we have because my husband is a music educator, and I feel like I should read it just because I am also a music educator, but yeah. Tales of H.P. Lovecraft. It's a collection of his writings. My grandpa gave it to me, and I still haven't read it. The Children of Dune. It's the 3rd book in the Dune saga, and I've read the first 2, but I haven't gotten to this one yet. This is Lost and Found, helping behaviorally challenging students, and while you're at it, the others. This is another book we have because of my husband, but this one I'm actually really interested in, and I just haven't gotten around to reading it. This is Tales of Ancient Egypt. I have the Ancient Greek version of this, and I read it when I was a kid, and then bought this soon after and never read it. This is The Inner Game of Music, co-written by the Inner Game of Tennis writer, and I heard Inner Game of Tennis is better, but this is my husband's book, and I feel like I should read it. This is Tiger Honor, the sequel to Dragon Pearl, which is so far my favorite Rick Riordan Presents book that I've read, and so I'm excited to read this one. I just haven't gotten around to it. This is The Devil in the White City. I borrowed it from a friend, still haven't given it back, still haven't read it. This is A Taste for Death by P.D. James. I bought it because I was supposed to read it in a class in college, and then we ended up skipping it to get to a different book before the semester ended. This is The Iliad and the Odyssey. I started The Iliad last year, didn't get through it, but I feel like I should read it it's just slow because of all the naming of people and things and whatever. So yeah. This is Waste of Space, a book that I bought a long time ago at Barnes & Noble when I had a gift card. I was probably in high school, maybe middle school, and I just never read it. This is Different Seasons by Stephen King. I have read The Body so many times. It was one of my favorite, it's a novella, but it was like my favorite book for a while in high school. And I started Shawshank Redemption one time, but I never got through this whole book. So this is An Acceptable Time, the last book in the Time Quintet by Madeline L'Engle. Haven't read it. This is The Lost Gate and the Gate Thief by Orson Scott Card. And again, they were my husband's books and I just haven't read them. This is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I borrowed this from my mother-in-law because she said it was really good and I haven't read it yet. This is Perdido Street Station by China Mieville. I read part of this book for a class my freshman year of college, and I think it was about half of it, and then we moved on, and I haven't finished it. Hi. This is the third book in the Game of Thrones series, and like I said, I just haven't gotten all the way through the series. Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've started it like 4 times and never finished it. These are the last 2 books in the Chronicles of Narnia. I wrote a paper on the series in that same class that I read part of Perdido Street Station for, and I pretended that I read all 7 books, but I actually only read the first 5, and then I faked it for the last 2 because I ran out of time. So, Game of Thrones book that I obviously haven't read. This is Champion of the Titan Games by Brandon Mole, which is just another book in another fantasy series that I haven't finished yet. Another Game of Thrones book. This is book 3 in the Beyonder series by Brandon Mole. I've definitely read the first 2 and I'm rereading the first one right now, but I don't remember finishing the third one. Actually, I don't think I ever started it. So yeah, definitely need to read this one. This is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I started it last year, but the copy my friend got me was missing like 20 pages in the middle of the book, which was really weird. And so I didn't get to finish it. And then here's the sequel. Dandelion Fire, the second book in the 100 Cupboards series. I read 100 Cupboards and then I started this one and got bored. Pudd'nhead Wilson and Those Extraordinary Twins by Mark Twain. I read the first half of this book because it's like, Pudd'nhead Wilson and then the Extraordinary Twins is the second part, and I didn't read the Extraordinary Twins part. The Queen's Gambit. I do want to read this. I love the show, but I just haven't gotten around to it. The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. It's the second book in the Fifth Wave series. I bought it for my husband because he was more into the first book than I was, and I don't know. I'll give it a chance. Fluent Forever by Gabriel Weiner. It's supposed to help you learn languages and stuff, and I started it one time and even made some flashcards, which is one of the first things he talks about. And then I put it down and didn't pick it back up. So yeah, this one will be good, especially since I'm trying to learn 3 languages right now. This is this weird fantasy series called Levin Thumps that I started back in middle school. Oh my gosh, I wrote something really cringy in it. That I started back in middle school and I never got to the second book, but the first book was like weird and I might like it if I try it again, but I also might just end up reading these and then getting rid of them. We'll see. Neurotribes by Steve Silverman. I started this a long time ago. You can kind of see like a mark where my bookmark used to be, and I was really into it and stuff. It was like really interesting. It's a big book, and I used to have a much smaller tolerance for nonfiction than I do now. Dear Justice by Nick Stone. It's the sequel to Dear Martin, and Dear Martin was good, so I got this. The Good Lieutenant by Whitney Terrell. This is a book that was given to me as part of a writing camp class thing that I did back in high school, and the author came and talked, the class went to an event, but I missed it because I was out of town, and I've tried to read it like 2 or 3 times and just can't really get into it, so. Last but not least, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I watched the majority of the movie of this book on a plane ride, and I enjoyed it. And so I bought the book at a discount bookstore, and I just haven't gotten around to reading it, but I've been told it's pretty good. So that's the last of my physical TBR. So as far as reading goals go through 2023, I want to try to get through a lot of this physical TBR. I'm not going to set my goals too high. I'm not even going to say like half, because Last year, I don't think I got through that many. I did read a lot of new books last year, but like, I don't think that many of them were, I don't know, maybe it was significant, but anyway, yeah, I want to get through these. Yeah, so I just want to read 100 books or more. That's my goal, because last year I read 93, and I wasn't trying that hard. I was just kind of like reading when I wanted to, and yeah, I think I can do 100 this year, especially since I have more free time, and I'm really looking forward to it. Any other goals? Oh, I want to finish the Mysterious Benedict Society series, which I've been getting from the library, and I want to read more. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to reading and having time to read. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. So thanks for watching, and subscribe.